TikTok dating advice. In this video, I'm gonna go through a bunch of dating advice from a couple of popular TikTokers that are in like the dating space and figure out if what they're saying is actually good advice or if it's a bunch of BS and they're actually just grifters. Otherwise known as people that just pretend or like pander to a certain type of people and basically tell them what they want to hear even if they don't agree to it themselves, or they're just trying to farm views. Now the reason I'm going to TikTok instead of like Reddit or even like YouTube, everyone's on TikTok nowadays, so it would make sense that if you're looking for dating advice and you're not trying to waste time, you're probably going on TikTok or maybe even Instagram Reels, but that is its own cesspool by itself. I'm gonna make a whole separate video on that. Without further ado, let's see how bad TikTok dating advice actually is. The first dating guru is gonna be Russell Hartley. It's not gonna be like a specific type of video, it's more gonna be like a compilation of a bunch of clips he has in terms of dating advice. This is more centered towards women, but yeah, you can kind of tell where he stands on the dating scale, traditional scale, probably by like the first 40 seconds.
He's telling you that he's not ready for a relationship. You should just go to your other boyfriend's house.
We're already considering that there's another boyfriend in the scenario. So that says to me that whoever Russell's talking to has a boyfriend already, has someone else in mind to say other boyfriend. We're already starting off on the wrong foot. Already pretty weird.
Say, okay, I'll see you later, and then just drive on over to your other boyfriend's house. Y'all aren't in a relationship. Tell your other boyfriend about it. Yeah, he just told me he wasn't ready for a relationship. Can you believe him? He would say that to me?
First off, if some girl has two boyfriends anyways, I feel like you're usually not going to tell one of them about the other anyways. So this advice is already pretty weird. Now granted, I know there are relationships where like the girl is very upfront about having a bunch of other guys with her, and like to the point where even like the guys are kind of cool with it too and they almost want to compete for her, but that's the only scenario where I see this working, and most of the time that isn't actually real and doesn't happen. I feel like most of the time they either hide it, either the girl or the guy hides the other relationship, or it's like the main dude and the side dude, where like in this scenario she's talking to the side dude about the quote unquote main dude, talking about how he doesn't want a relationship or anything like that.
I would just be looking at him like this. Tweeze those eyebrows. Ugh. I'll come after him and get him myself.
Just want to say he's talking about tweezing eyebrows and pulls out a razor, but yeah.
I'll get you the eyebrows myself. Problem solved. My God, was it that hard? Well, here's my impression of a broke guy on Tinder. Oh my God, if you know how many things I had going on right now, it would make your head spin. It's so crazy. I'm just so busy with all the things I got going on. That's every broke guy ever. Just
How would you know he's broke just based off of that? He could be busy.
There it is. That's my impression of every broke guy ever. Oh my God, so many things. I got all these different businesses I'm running. Broke as know each other in 4 months. You haven't even seen what he looks like.
Fair enough. Okay, I think I understood what he was saying, but okay.
Like with his beard yet. What if he shaves his beard and it's all the same? Just one piece. What then? What are you gonna do then? Straight to the courthouse? What if he shaves his beard off and he looks like an anglerfish?
I know he makes content for women, but I would hope he also holds that standard for both women and men. And not even in terms of, obviously, women aren't growing beards, but in terms of makeup or whatever. And that only really matters if you hold that standard for men with their beards or whatever. And I may be biased because I do have a goatee.
Honey?
Which is the best form of beard, by the way.
Have you seen my socks? What's on for dinner tonight, honey? Is that what you want? You might be dating an anglerfish. If a man's asking you, let's get married, on the second date, I promise you that man's credit score is lower than it ought to be. And you need to run for the hills. Because in no time flat, he's going to ask you to co-sign on that car for him. On that car note. I
mean, yeah, the thing with these type of TikToks is they usually, at least with this dude, the hardcore grifter, they're very like traditional in their way, so this obviously isn't going to be something that goes both ways for the guy and the girl. I'm honestly so worried for these comments because I'm pretty sure they're all going to be just riding his shit. Oh, the first comment. He's our greatest ally, never stop king. Alyssa, what are you on about? And he's fine too. Why can't I find a man like this? They just don't know. He's not telling the truth. That's the worst part. I feel like Russell Hartley and Shara 7 are the same sentence, different fonts. Oh my God. We have to protect this man at all costs. By the way, this is the exact same type of comment that red pill dudes would make when a girl is like edgy. We have to protect this girl at all costs. It's the same thing. This man has changed my entire personality. He hasn't been doing this fake grifter stuff for that long. At the end of the day, this does just promote very traditional values. With, to be fair, if you agree with that, then fair enough, do you, but you have to hold yourself to that same traditional standard, which, and this goes both ways, guys usually won't do it, girls usually won't do it, so then it just becomes very uneven dating for the traditional way, I guess.
If a man asks you what you bring to the table, that man has a low credit score.
No one should be asking anyone what you bring to the table. You shouldn't be going into relationships wondering what you can get out of it. I feel like dating nowadays definitely promotes that a lot. Like, what can you get out of this woman or guy before you start dating them? Figure that out, then you can start dating them because you get what you want. When in reality, if you like the person, it won't matter what they bring. The only thing you care about is hanging out with them in the first place.
If a broke man ghosts you, you should send him a thank you card. Men marry the woman that's right in front of them when they're ready. That's it. That's all.
I don't even know what that point is about. I'm a little confused on that.
By the way, guys, pretty ain't cheap. You know how expensive it is? If you're a 25-year-old woman and you're dating a 45-year-old man who doesn't have money, what the charity are you a part of? Is this some sort of Make-A-Wish thing?
She could just like the nigga. I mean, who knows? God, these comments are already gonna be sick. Oh my god, the one more comment. Are we forgetting how he treated women before? He's doing what he can to appeal to the public and get views. Like, I doubt those beliefs are poof gone all of a sudden. Thank you. Oh my god. Okay, so he's changed. He's spitting facts. People don't change that fast. I'm just gonna say women for the sake of it, but they are very traditional. I mean, she's paying for the hotels. If it was he, would there be that much of a difference to them? Probably. Now, luckily, there are some people on TikTok that, you know, can see through his very obvious, I don't want to say fakeness, but like pretending to be part of this side of TikTok for the very traditional girls, and are trying to tell other people about them, or at least other women.
So many of you guys so often comment on my videos saying that the only man that you could ever trust is this man right here, Russell Hartley. And let me just say, if that's really how you feel, you are probably the easiest woman to play in history. You are gonna get played by so many men. You are not learning shit, apparently. If you're believing anything that this grifter fucking says, you should not be dating. Because you need to tighten up a little bit because you're going to get played. I think it's so interesting and ironic that men can say the same exact thing that so many women are saying, and more women will be excited about it coming out of his mouth than out of the dozens of women's mouths that are saying the same thing.
I think it's very important to point out that it is that side of women, at least who believe in that, which is fair enough. But the reason I think it's a lot more popular when a guy says it is because it's unexpected, right? There aren't a lot of guys that would not only just say they hold traditional values, but also, I don't want to say empowered. A lot of Russell's stuff is also like putting women in a box in terms of, hey, your worth is tied to your man's worth, in a sense. He's kind of packaging that in a very nice box with a bow tie around it and saying, here, this is not what I really mean, but to anyone else that kind of gets what I'm saying, that is what I mean. The way I get it is like, okay, yeah, if I'm a girl and I'm seeing them thinking, okay, whoa, usually I hear girls say this. If I hear a guy say that means it definitely must be true. Or it's not just the people that also look like me that also think the same way I do, but it's also the people that I'm trying to attract, or the opposite, I guess like in this case men to women, that also think the same way, so my feelings must be validated.
This guy is a grifter. He figured out his content used to be totally different. He used to run a Spicy Fan's house. Okay? If you live in LA, then you know this. He was throwing anything he could at the wall, and just seeing what would stick to get clout. That's what he was doing. And he figured out that by saying what women want to hear and wearing an ill-fitting suit, he could get that clout. He's making hundreds of dollars off of your naivety and off of duping you. You have to wake up to this. You should not trust any man who comes on Beyonce's internet and is like, men should pay for everything. Yeah, no shit. They know that's not a hard thing to figure out, okay? Like that, they know that by saying that they're going to get clout from it. You should not trust any man who comes on Beyonce's internet and does like couples content, because that is also a man who's trying to get clout off of his girlfriend. These men,
if you say that about women, then yeah, but if not, I don't know, we get this point.
Men are swimming in money and they're swimming in women because you guys put them on a pedestal and gave them a platform off of them pandering to you and grifting off of this movement. The only men that you should be listening to or giving any kind of flowers to are the men who are talking about the actual systemic inequality that women experience. The men who are calling out rapists, the men who are calling out abusers, the men who are talking to other men and having difficult conversations and trying to talk to these red pill men about what women experience. Not men who are like, you should never have to pay for your dinners, ladies. That's the easiest thing to do to get likes and clicks. The only men that are worth giving flowers to are the men who are talking to other men about and having uncomfortable, difficult conversations. Those are the only men that deserve any kind of flowers from us. We don't need any men to talk to us about men. We already know.
This is interesting. 95% of top influencers are playing a character, including Shara. I've heard of her name before, but I'm pretty sure she's in like the girl version of Russell, where like, you know, pushes heavy, man traditional. I'm assuming women traditional as well. This is where I'm like, huh? I just don't see the issue even in the case she was playing a character, because she actually has women's best interest in mind, unlike this guy. This goes into a whole other conversation, but, and it's gonna sound like I'm attacking traditional relationships here, but with a lot of people that push this idea in particular, instead of just saying, hey, this is what works for me, it's a lot of, hey, everyone should apply to this one type of relationship, and if you're not, you're doing it wrong. Or that in itself is already a weird thing to say, you're not getting the best out of it, but which is a whole different conversation about, what is it, I think it's like gender essentialism and patriarchy, which I can make a whole different video about, and I probably will, because I do find that stuff interesting. But the baseline with these type of videos is basically, instead of just saying do what works for you, it's kind of, hey, this is how all relationships should be because of blah 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 blah, man this, whatever, woman that, which in reality doesn't make sense. You know, humans are so much more, I guess, interesting and different to where everyone else's relationship works the way they want it to work, and whether that's, you know, the man paying for everything or them splitting the bill, whatever I don't know, whatever, right? But yeah, it does seem like this side of the, I don't know, I guess like the fence is a lot more everyone should be this way as opposed to do what makes you happy in your own relationship. The next person, funny enough, is gonna be the Sheer 7 person. From what I know about her, or at least her name is, she's, I guess, the women version of Russell, all right? Like pushes traditional values. I mean, yeah, let's just watch the video. It's just a compilation video, but
What do you bring to the table, Miss Nothing? I'm not no waitress. And if I was, I'm putting extra food on that bill so you could give me extra. What if he asks about body count? Ask about bank account. You ask them they body count. Men and women. You might be surprised. He said women will tell you they love.
the whole body count thing is interesting. You know, at least to me, it matters up to a certain number in terms of like, let's say my max is 20, for example, right? Then that's when it matters after that. But or if it's 50, whatever number. But at the end of the day, if I'm trying to look for someone, I'd rather it be near my number, which is, I think, is a completely fair, you know, thing to say, right? At the end of the day, all of this whole dating thing is about reciprocation. If you can apply whatever standards you have to yourself, then you can really have whatever standards you want, as long as you hold yourself to that same value. But in, you know, in her case, it seems to be one or the other.
Love you, hold your hand, but secretly want your bag. Exactly. Men will tell you they love you, hold your hand, but secretly want what's in your pants. Same thing.
Problem with a lot of these type of videos, it generalizes any group of people, which, shocker, we shouldn't be doing that. No one person is the same, right? So generalizing in itself is already a pretty stupid thing to do. But yeah, that's a big problem with this like side of TikTok and dating, is they generalize, I'm just gonna say men in this case, but women as well with the red pill, but they generalize either men and women, which doesn't help anyone, because then you have hurt people that believe it. That's kind of what spreads the idea of what they're trying to push.
If he's ugly, maybe imagine yourself spending his money. Imagine him taking you shopping. That's the look you need. So this is my imagine him taking you shopping look. Like, I know something you don't know. How do you know if a dude is lying if his lips is moving? Sprinkle, sprinkle. If he always asks.
It's also so negative too. I mean, like, you know, a couple minutes ago I'm over here talking about how, like, you know, if it works for you, it works for you, fair enough. But this is very obviously, I think, one-sided. When I watch these type of videos, I don't see positivity radiating out. It's a lot of negative stuff too. And also the point about the money or the ugliness, like, this is why I go on dates with people that like me, because if you like the person you're going on a date with, or your boyfriend or girlfriend, none of this will ever be an issue. How much money they have, you know, assuming they're a good person or whatever, how much money they have or what they're doing for you in terms of what they can offer won't matter, because you like the person, right? If I'm going on a date with a girl that doesn't like me, of course my money might say, the money I don't have might push it, but if she likes me, how much money I have or don't have won't matter.
For pictures and pictures, he's collecting pictures because he can't collect you. When a woman says don't worry about it, I will find another way, that means another man. If you don't like old men, then focus on ugly. All right, ugly with money. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Worry about feelings. Worry about some cars.
There's one thing I pray for, is not to find someone like this, someone who, you know, maybe thinks this way. If this works for someone else, by all means, fair enough, but it's not for me. And I don't think a lot of normal people won't want someone who like subscribes to this idea anyways. Like, it's very, I don't want to say shallow, but it's very, I mean, it's kind of shallow, right? But yeah, it's very like, what can I get out of this relationship? At the very least, if you're looking for that, you got to be upfront, because it'll be a hell of a lot worse to find out the person you're dating, you know, with this type of idea months into a relationship. But I think with this type, you can kind of tell what to look out for in a way. If both people in a relationship are like this and they like the way this idea works, then fair enough, you know, whatever works for them works for them. All right, I'm not gonna lie, I just skipped through the share stuff because I had one more creator to look at. This is also one more video. This video, I'm not gonna lie, might be all over the place again, but yeah, it's from a creator called Drew Afalau. The first 3 seconds are going to be enough to understand what this creator is all about.
The inherent fact that men are evil, that is true. Like, man as a whole is evil, like just as an entity, a general idea. Men have inflicted violence and oppression on the world in ways that are irreparable. Like, it's okay if we say that out loud. It's okay if we say that men are inherently evil. It's like, it's not all men, but for some reason, always a man. Every time something terrible happens, always a man, like 99% of the time. So I feel like it's a lot simpler than people may think. I don't hate my man, I hate most men. And for me, I think given what men have done to me personally, to people I love, and the world as a whole, if they all start guilty and have to work their way to innocent, it's not really a big deal to me. I feel very like convicted in that. It's very like, if you're not awful, prove it.
Yeah.
Quit talking about it and
Right.
fucking do it. Because the men who complain that they really hate hearing like, oh, what about all men? Oh, all men, all men. A lot of this, not a lot of action.
My main issue with creators who push extreme ideas like this, go after the people that are genuinely hurt and have been hurt by, you know, say men or women, whoever, I'm saying Red Pill in this case, and other creators like this, is that when you have hurt people that are looking for, I guess, reasons why what happened to them, I feel like they find creators like this somehow, maybe it could be due to their size or whatever, and because they're finding these hurt people, they kind of catch on to that and think, oh my god, I was cheated on by this girl or guy, they all must be like that. And, you know, like I said earlier, it creates a fucking spiral, and it's really sad because to get out of it, you have to remember, oh wait, humans aren't like the same, you know, we're not grouped up. Humans who look the same or think like, whether it's, you know, men, black people, whatever, aren't all the same. Shocker, right? Obviously, yes, it's not difficult to like understand that if you're coming from a hurt place, but when you have these creators and people who agree with them on the internet, all in this echo chamber of yes, all men this, all women cheat, whatever, it just reinforces that idea to that hurt person. That's the worst part. Like, if I'm a guy and I just got cheated on, and all it takes is one TikTok reel, whatever, to find a Red Pill podcast saying, hey, this girl cheated on you because all women do is cheat, so you got to find the one girl that doesn't and make sure your side is open while her side isn't, or whatever bullshit. And if I'm hurt enough, shit, what's stopping me from agreeing to it, you know? And the exact same way the other side around, if I'm a girl and I just got cheated on, or God forbid anything worse, and I find someone who pushes out extreme ideology, extreme ideas like all men are inherently evil and they have to work to prove that they're not, and I see all the comments agreeing with her, it's like, okay, I guess that must be the case because everyone else is agreeing with her as well. It's a very scary thought, and you know, for the people that, you know, are normal and that don't agree with that, you just kind of have to like remember that, well, number one, a lot of these people are chronically online, at least people agreeing. Obviously the creators, I mean, I guess they technically are too, right? But a lot of times they don't really leave their bedrooms, you know, they're kind of inside all the time spouting out this BS. But yeah, it's important to know that most people are not like this. That's the important part. Granted, these do get a lot of likes and there are people that exist that do think like that, but number one, they won't push that in person, like that ideology, whether it's to another girl or a guy, like not even counting physically. But yeah, you have to remember that people are normal at the end of the day. The same way it'd be wrong for any racist to push any generalization on a race, the same applies to any sex or gender, whatever you identify as. But yeah, that's my main issue with a lot of these like extreme posts, is they like to generalize people, and at the end of the day, humans are different. Every single human is different in their own ways. They think differently, and it's not enough to just say this amount of people all are the same no matter what they identify as. Honestly, I don't even know where this video was going. It was supposed to be TikTok dating, but it kind of turned into grifters and people who pander to different people. Anyways, that was the video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. You know, if there's one lesson to take away from this, don't generalize people. You know, everyone is different in their own ways. Yeah, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, let me know what you guys thought of these creators. They're pretty weird, shocker, TikTok extremists. But yeah, leave a like, subscribe, and until next time, peace.